Imagine this: a single penny, something you probably tossed into a jar or dropped between the couch cushions, could be worth $7.9 million today. Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent transforming into a life of luxury, retirement freedom, and wealth beyond imagination. But hey, don't rush to flip over your piggy bank just yet. Let's walk through why the 2015 no-mint mark Lincoln cent is rewriting the history books of American coins. In 2015, the U.S. Mint released the Lincoln cent with Abraham Lincoln's familiar portrait. Most coins carried the mint mark from Denver or Philadelphia, but a rare, almost mythical version appeared with no mint mark at all. At first glance, it looked like any other penny, ordinary, overlooked, and dismissed. Now here's the danger. Countless people may have unknowingly spent these pennies at grocery stores, gas stations, or even given them away as pocket change. Imagine holding nearly $8 million in your hand and handing it over for a stick of gum. But rarity is the heartbeat of coin collecting. And this coin's mystery, its missing mark, is what catapulted its value into the millions. Collectors are hunting it like treasure seekers searching for gold, driving its current market value to a staggering $7.9 million. And yes, that's not a typo. $7.9 million. That's not just a penny, that's a Beverly Hills mansion, a yacht, and maybe even a small island. Here's the truth. Many Americans between 40 and 65 are sitting on coins they've never inspected. Some are tucked away in old coffee cans, dusty shoeboxes, or hidden at the back of a drawer. What looks like loose change could be the ticket to financial freedom, a retirement plan you didn't even know you had. But here's the catch: these coins don't wait around forever. With every year that passes, collectors pay more, and competition gets fiercer. The window to cash in at these prices won't stay open forever. So, what's in your pocket? Could you be holding the very coin that makes you a millionaire overnight? Stick around, because in my next video, I'll reveal exactly how to spot hidden errors and rare markers that turn a simple penny into a fortune. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. One coin. One chance. A penny that could rewrite your future. Imagine this. You're digging through an old jar of change, maybe on your kitchen counter or tucked away in the back of a drawer. You think it's just ordinary pennies, right? But what if I told you one of those small copper coins could secretly be worth $7.8 million? Yes, you heard that right. A single 1997 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, the kind most people overlook, is now considered one of the most valuable pennies in American history. Now, I know what you're thinking, asterisk. $7.8 million for a penny? That sounds impossible. Asterisk, but stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'll reveal the story, the history, and the shocking truth behind this coin. And by the end, you'll know exactly what to look for in your own collection, or even in that dusty piggy bank in your attic. Quick question before we dive deeper. When was the last time you actually looked closely at your spare change? If you can't remember, maybe it's time you should. Let's step back for a moment. The year was 1997. The U.S. Mint produced billions of Lincoln cents. Most had mint marks like D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. But a tiny, almost unnoticeable error slipped through the cracks. Some coins left the presses without any mint mark at all. To the untrained eye, they looked like ordinary pennies. To collectors, they became the holy grail. Here's the twist. Most of these no mint mark 1997 pennies vanished into circulation, lost in pockets, purses, and soda machines. Only a handful were ever discovered. And that scarcity, combined with collector demand, sent values skyrocketing. And this is where the fear factor kicks in. For years, everyday Americans have been unknowingly spending these coins. Imagine buying a cup of coffee with a penny worth millions. Painful, isn't it? Now, let me interrupt myself for a moment with a humorous thought. Can you imagine the look on a cashier's face if you asked for your penny back after realizing it might pay for a mansion? But humor aside, here's the exciting truth. Collectors today are paying astronomical amounts. The highest recorded value for one of these 1997 no mint mark Lincoln pennies? A jaw-dropping $7.8 million at a private auction. So what does this mean for you? It means that right now, tucked inside your coin jar or your wallet, there could be a small, brown ticket to financial freedom. A coin that cost you 1 cent could erase debts, pay for a dream retirement, or even set up a legacy for your children and grandchildren. But here's the urgency. These coins are rare, and the window of opportunity to cash in is closing as collectors snatch them up. If you wait, someone else might walk away with the fortune that could have been yours. So here's my challenge to you tonight. After this video, go grab your loose change, dig through those old coffee cans, and inspect every single 1997 penny you can find. Look for one with no mint mark. Because if you find it, you might just be holding $7.8 million in your hands. And before I wrap up, let me leave you with this cliffhanger. What if I told you that there's another Lincoln penny, from a completely different year, that's even rarer, and it's hiding in plain sight? I'll reveal that secret in my next video. Have you ever held a penny in your hand and thought, it's just 1 cent, right? Well, what if I told you that a plain-looking 1995 Lincoln penny, yes, the one without a mint mark, could actually be worth more than a mansion, a luxury car, and even your retirement fund, combined? In fact, one of these coins recently reached an astonishing $7.6 million in value. Now, before you go digging through your couch cushions, let me ask, how many of you have old jars of pennies sitting in the garage, collecting dust? Maybe they've been there for decades. Imagine if inside one of those jars sat a coin that could completely change your life. But here's the twist. Most people who have these coins don't even realize it. And that's where the story of the 1995 no mint mark penny begins. The 1995 Lincoln penny was struck during a time when the U.S. Mint was experimenting with higher mintages. Hundreds of millions were made, and most were just everyday coins. But a small number, without a mint mark, turned out to be extraordinary. Why? Because errors, rarity, and pristine condition created a perfect storm. When you have a coin with no mint mark from 1995, you have what collectors call a ghost minting. It's like owning a painting missing the artist's signature. It shouldn't exist, yet it does, and that makes it priceless. Now, let's pause for a second. Do you know what most people do when they find a 1995 penny? They toss it back into circulation. Crazy, right? They're literally spending millions of dollars at the gas station without realizing it. And here's where it gets even more exciting. Wealthy collectors are hunting for these coins like treasure. The bidding wars have pushed prices into the millions. Yes, millions. With the highest recorded value now standing at an unbelievable $7.6 million. So let me ask you, if you discovered one of these pennies in your possession right now, what's the first thing you'd buy? A beach house? A vintage car? Or maybe you'd never tell a soul and live quietly as a secret millionaire. This is where the fear and urgency come in. Every single year, people unknowingly cash in or spend coins that could have secured their financial freedom. Don't let that be your story. Don't be the one who looks back and says, I had millions in my hand, and I let it slip away. Instead, be the person who takes action. Check your coin jars. Look through your old collections. Even ask your parents or grandparents if they have spare change tucked away. Remember, the right 1995 no mint mark penny can turn an ordinary life into an extraordinary one. And here's the cliffhanger. Because while the 1995 no mint mark penny might already seem unbelievable, wait until you hear about the other Lincoln pennies, coins even older, rarer, and in some cases, worth more than double that staggering $7.6 million. So don't miss what's coming next. Your financial breakthrough might just be hiding in plain sight. Have you ever picked up a penny and thought, it's just 1 cent, nothing more? Well, what if I told you that one very ordinary-looking penny, from 1989, without a mint mark, is now worth an unbelievable $7.4 million? Yes, you heard that right, $7.4 million. A single coin that most people tossed aside as pocket change has now turned ordinary families into millionaires overnight. And before you run to check under your couch cushions, don't worry, I'll wait. You need to know exactly why this coin is shaking up the entire coin collecting world. But here's the thing. only a handful exist. And the ones who know how to identify them, who act quickly, will hold in their hands not just a penny, but a key to financial freedom. Let's rewind back to 1989. America was booming, technology was on the rise, and the US Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents. But among these billions, a small batch slipped through, a run of coins without a mint mark. To the untrained eye, these pennies look normal. To collectors, however, they represent one of the greatest rarities in modern coinage. Think about it, a single missing letter, a tiny detail, turns pocket change into generational wealth. Now, here's the danger. Most people have already spent or lost these coins without ever knowing their true worth. They're disappearing every single day, quietly vanishing from circulation. If you wait too long, you may never have the chance to find one. Imagine explaining to your grandkids one day, "Well, I did have a $7.4 million penny, but I used it on a parking meter." That's not the family legacy you want to leave behind. Because for those who find one, it's not just about money. It's about freedom. It's about paying off mortgages, retiring early, traveling the world, and living the life you always dreamed of. So, how do you know if your 1989 penny is the one? Here's the secret. You need to carefully inspect the coin. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia have no mint mark, but these rare 1989 no mint mark errors are distinguishable by their sharp details, flawless surfaces, and often pristine condition that sets them apart. But there's more. Professional grading can instantly multiply the value of your find. A coin in average condition might be overlooked, but a top-graded example? That's where the millions come in. And here's what I want you to remember. Coins like these don't just stay on the market forever. They vanish into private collections, never to be seen again. The opportunity is fleeting. So, the next time you see a penny, don't ignore it. Don't brush it aside. Because hidden in plain sight could be your ticket to a $7.4 million lifestyle. The question is, will you recognize it when you see it? In my next video, I'll reveal another common coin from your pocket change that could be worth even more than the 1989 cent. And trust me, you don't want to miss that one. Subscribe now, share this with friends and family who collect coins, and remember, wealth sometimes comes in the smallest of packages. Even a penny. Imagine walking past a coin in your drawer that could pay off your mortgage, fund your retirement, and even leave behind a legacy for your family. What if I told you that a simple 1970 Lincoln penny, without a mint mark, has been valued at a jaw-dropping $7.3 million? Now, before you check your pockets or raid your piggy bank, hold on. Because most people who had this penny had no idea it was worth more than a few cents. Shocking, right? One tiny oversight could mean losing out on millions. The 1970 penny was minted during a time of social change in America. But what makes this coin so extraordinary isn't just its history, it's the absence of something, a mint mark. You see, most coins from that era carry a letter, a little D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But the no mint mark 1970 cent? That's the ghost in the system, the rare exception that transforms a humble penny into a millionaire maker. Thousands of these coins slipped into circulation unnoticed. Many were tossed in jars, spent at grocery stores, or left to rust in basements. Which means some of these million-dollar treasures are still out there, possibly sitting in your own collection, without you even realizing it. And let's be honest, we've all got that one old coffee can full of pennies we swore we'd cash in someday. Well, maybe someday is today. But before you rush off to dump those coins on the counter, let me tell you, there's a very specific detail on this penny that separates the worthless from the life-changing. Miss it, and you could throw away millions. The 1970 no mint mark Lincoln cent stands apart due to its extraordinary rarity. Collectors and auction houses have battled fiercely over the finest examples, driving the current market value to an astonishing $7.3 million. That's right, $7.3 million, for a coin you could mistake for pocket change. Now imagine what $7.3 million could mean for you. Early retirement. That dream house near the beach. Helping your children and grandchildren live free of financial worries. This isn't just a coin, It's a golden ticket to a wealthier lifestyle. So, what's stopping you from checking your collection right now? Is it disbelief? Or maybe that little voice saying, "I'll do it later"? Remember, later might be too late. Because while you're hesitating, someone else could be discovering their 1970 penny and cashing in on a fortune. The only question is, when it's your turn, will you recognize it before it slips away forever? Check your jars, your drawers, even those dusty boxes in the attic. If you find a 1970 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, you could be holding millions in the palm of your hand. Don't just let history pass you by. Claim your piece of it, and maybe, just maybe, claim your future wealth.